All right. Hey, everybody. Jefferson Graham here with my old young friend, Scott Kelby. He is the prolific author of so many books that you probably already have. He is working on a new edition. One second. I'm getting some feedback here. Boom. Okay, now I'm back, and now we're all good without the feedback in my ear. Yes, so Scott is working on a new edition of the iPhone book, Volume 2. It's coming out later this year, and his company, KelbyOne Live, is staging the iPhone Photography Conference next week. So as always, Scott and I love to come on and talk iPhone photography and plug the conference and take your questions. And we already have Denny here from Southern Arizona. Hi, Denny. Hi, Scott. How you doing?
Woo! I'm rocking and rolling. Yeah, it's great. It's an exciting time. The stuff that's happening with the iPhone right now is just it's crazy. It's unbelievable, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm shooting my iPhone more than I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
And in fact, I just spent the weekend in Vegas with my wife. Didn't even take a camera. Only used my my iPhone.
Yeah, sounds like me. I actually make a TV show on an iPhone. Can you believe it? I
I
actually
do.
do.
I absolutely believe it.
Yeah, and it's amazing what you get. I just did a shot. I can't show it to you right now, but I did a shot where I interviewed a guy in Florida, of all places, Scott. I was in St. Augustine, Florida, and he was running a motorboat, and he was giving me a little tour of the area. Shot the whole interview handheld, not actually on a selfie stick. And he's moving along. It looks so good, you would never know it was done on an iPhone. So.
Oh, the stabilization on the iPhone is ridiculous. It really is good, especially for video. It's like magic.
I know. So let's start off. Tell everybody about the conference that's coming up.
So it's a conference we've been doing for a number of years. We do about 5 or 6 conferences a year that are all online. It is usually our most popular conference. And I think one of the reasons why it's so popular, I think a lot of people are they're just tired of carrying around all that gear. And now that the iPhone, is shooting, the iPhone 17 Pro is shooting at 24 megapixels default up to 48, shoots in RAW. The lens goes from 13 to 200. I mean, I don't know what else you need to carry with you. So I think it's really spurred a lot of interest. I think a lot of people are seeing really great quality images coming out of iPhones. I mean, I look at the stuff that you shoot, Jefferson, and people like Russell Preston Brown and some of these great photographers out there. And, your images are all over the web, and people are starting to see this and really think they're second guessing. Like, do I really need to be taking all this heavy gear? And so what our conference is about is it's 2.5 days, because there's a pre-conference day that's included, and then 2 full days. It's like 20 something classes on every aspect of iPhone photography. I'm doing one on like killer tips for travel photographers, because that's what I do most. And I'm also doing one on portraits, on just shooting portraits on the iPhone. So I got a couple of classes, but there's many more, and an all-star cast of instructors that are teaching as well. And so it's a bunch of people you already know. It's many of them made their names as DSLR or mirrorless photographers, and are now serious iPhone photographers as well.
Rick Salmon is going to be there, and
Oh yeah,
Lisa Carney is going to be there, and Glenn Dewis is going to be there. Some
oh yeah,
Eric Kuna, some fantastic photographers. I want to ask you about travel photography in a second, but first of all, my little plug, I'll be talking about accessories. I'm also doing storytelling, but there is not a day that goes by that I don't get a note. Hey, what was that? What was that cage you were showing off there? And what was that selfie stick? And what was that app that you were using? And people are fascinated with iPhone accessories. The good news about accessories is they'll make it a little easier for you. They won't turn you into a better photographer, but there are accessories that definitely make life a lot easier, right?
absolutely.
Give people a hint on some of your tips, 1 or 2 tips for travel photography that you'll be talking about.
Oh gosh, I have so many. Let me think, because I'm trying to do 20 tips in 1 hour. So I'm trying to fit them all in. I think here's a tip, and this is a new feature in iOS 26. So I talk about something that a lot of people forget about, and that is to clean your lenses. To just clean your lenses. Like people will show me some pictures and like, yeah, my pictures don't look that in focus. I'm like, when was the last time you cleaned your lens? And they're like, I've never cleaned my lens. So I had a so I keep a cleaning cloth with me. It's a microfiber cloth. I literally keep it in my back pocket, and it cleans my glasses. It cleans my camera lenses, but it cleans the lens on your camera. So before I'm going to shoot anything serious, take 10 seconds. It just goes zzz, 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 clean your lenses. However, in iOS 26, they added a new feature. If your lenses get seriously like icky, it will actually put a warning on screen and tell you need to clean your lens. That's a brand new feature in iOS 26. All you have to do is go into the camera settings and go turn on. It's called, I think it's called Dirty Lens Hint. It uses the word hint because it doesn't do it for you. It just says, hey, I want to clean that lens. So that's one that I'll definitely be, of course, showing. And that's a really neat one.
That's the first tip I always give to everybody at the beginning of every episode of Photo Walks is to clean your lens because most people never think about it. The phone is in our pockets. It's in our purses. It's rustling around. Could you imagine you've got a Canon, you got a Sony, you got a Nikon, and you walk around with a dirty lens? Would not happen, right?
Mm-mm.
And then the other two things.
Ignore it.
The other two things I always say is check your battery level and check your storage. Can you imagine you're running out with your Nikon or your Canon and you don't clear your card before you go out on a shoot? Or you go with dead batteries? Would never happen, right, Scott?
You would always check, right? It's so funny how when we're shooting our phone, like we forget camera basics. Yeah. And it's such a great camera, but we're like, nah, I don't have to really clean my lenses. I don't have to worry about the battery. I'm not worried about space or anything else. It's crazy. All right, I have one other tip, and would it be okay if I showed a little on screen?
If
can
you
I
could
show
do
you
it.
Something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I think I can. Let me get it in front of me, and I'll explain it. I did a screen recording, so I'll have to explain it as it goes. But let me first stop it because it wants to play. Let me hide everything else and see if we can get this done. All right. Let me do a real quick screen share, and we'll see if this can make this magic happen. Oh, it's sharing this window. That's not really what I wanted. I wanted to share a different window. One moment. The window I want to share is not this one. I want to share. It's just not going to let me.
Okay, let's do this.
Well,
Scott.
hold on. Wait, I can do it. I got it. What if I switch to? Oh, no, I don't have it. I hit cancel.
I have some of your photos here. Let's take a look at them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's start. Tell everybody where you were.
Okay, this is in Abu Dhabi. So right down the road from Dubai. So if you're in Dubai, it's about a 20, 30-minute straight drive down the highway. And there is the largest mosque in the world, and it is a photographer's paradise. And they're quite photography friendly. So this is a hallway there. And yeah, it's just, you don't have to do a whole lot of aim down the hallway and hit the shutter button.
Is this 0.5 lens early in the morning to get the reflections?
This was actually mid-afternoon, believe it or not. I don't know why. It was the only time I could get there. So I had a limited, I was there on kind of business, so.
But you don't have the distortion that we sometimes get on the 0.5 lens.
Yeah, it's probably cropped in a little bit. If there was distortion on the outside edges, I would have cropped it away.
Okay.
Actually, you know what though? It is very possible this is a pano. I shot this this is on an iPhone 7.
Really?
Yeah, it's like on an iPhone 7. So it's very possible I did a pano. So.
All right, let's go to the next one. Okay,
hard to believe.
You're doing a session on portraits. This, I assume, is cinematic mode with some lighting?
That is portrait mode on the iPhone.
Mode, right.
And the trick I was going to show you was how I lit her. So if I figure out how to do that, I'll show you in a minute. But Yeah, that's just literally her back is towards the sun, so you can see the sun is behind her and it's lighting her hair. It does a beautiful job of it. Then you go to portrait mode. But to make portrait mode even better, and this is what you're seeing in this picture, because this looks blurrier than normal, is after the fact, you open the Photos app and you can change your aperture and make the background blurrier by just tapping on the little F, which stands for like f stop, and you can change your f stop all the way down to like f 1.8 or 1.4, and that really blurs that background beautifully. So that's what you're seeing there is the original shot, and then going into the Photos app on your phone, hitting the little F, and then changing your aperture after the fact to make
That
the
is something
background
that
more
most people don't
blurry.
realize, that after the fact, you could have shot that at f16 and then
Yep.
changed it to f1.4 afterwards.
As long as you shot it in portrait mode. So it
Right.
has to start in portrait. But yeah, I think I mean, it looks like a mirrorless shot, right? It looks like a shot you would have
It looks
shot with a
beautiful.
long lens.
Now, did you light her as
and a
well
mirrorless.
at all?
I lit her after the fact, and then that's what I was going to show you was how to light after the fact. It's actually in the camera in the
It's
Photos
one of the
app.
portrait mode choices.
It's
right?
one of the choices, and it's called Studio Light.
Yeah,
And
I
it
love
just
that
does such an amazing job. It's just so, all you do is choose it. Like you click on the little cube that is there for portrait, move one slot to the right, just rotate your finger to the left, and boom, it's like you went in with a flash and lit it beautifully. So that's, you're seeing those two things that take you 10 seconds,
Yeah.
and it just transforms the whole image.
Now, this was not shot on an iPhone 7.
No, this was, I'm going to say an iPhone 11 or probably an iPhone 12, actually.
Okay. I love this in Greece. Where else could it be but Greece? And you brought your
Yep.
wife. You brought your wife with you to pose, which is cool.
That's not my wife, but she's probably a little young for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell everybody about the setup.
So this is a model we flew in from Athens. I was doing a workshop with 12 photographers from basically the UK and the US. And we rented this villa so she could pose up there. And we brought the dress from the US. And she was wonderful and very, very patient. And we had assistants that would throw the dress up in the air because you have to toss it. You kind of have to get it ready first. You kind of have to wave it a few times and then throw it in the air and then jump back. And that's what it is. This was the easiest shot to take. It's just wide. I'm on the 0.5 lens. That's why you see so much of the scene. And yeah, I mean, it's honestly, a shot like this, once it's set up, is kind of a no-brainer. The hard part's getting the model to fly in from Athens, bringing a dress from the United States, renting a villa for her to stand on the roof. That was the hard part. The photography part is very, very easy. Put it on 0.5, frame up the shot, and take that. That was it.
Did you enhance it afterwards in Lightroom?
I enhance everything pretty much. So yeah, I usually will add a bit of contrast. I might add a little bit of clarity, and I actually warmed up her skin a little. You can't tell it much, but her skin was a little kind of. It wasn't as warm a skin tone as I would like, so I warmed up her skin a little bit. In Lightroom, you can say just select body skin and face skin, and I did go and add more yellow. So the temperature slider allows you to add yellow, and you can either do it in the Photos app or in Lightroom, but Lightroom will actually just select the skin for you, and that makes it nice.
Okay. I love this. Tell everybody where you were. This looks like a library somewhere.
It's a very famous library in Prague, and there are two libraries next to each other. They're literally right down the hall. And I was doing a workshop there, and I was able to get us private access. So this is the opposite view of what visitors normally see. This is normally all blocked off, and you can't walk in there. But I was able to arrange a private tour, and they let our whole group in there for about 45 minutes. And we were able to just shoot to our heart's content. So this is the opposite side of the monastery. It's a monastery library. And it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And you're there. It's gorgeous. Again, I'm really big on the ultra wide lens, the 0.5. That's approximately 13 millimeters on a regular mirrorless camera, full frame mirrorless camera. And so that's what you're seeing there. Now, you know what I didn't do here? I didn't get down low enough. I should have been down on one knee, but I'm the
Yeah.
lazy photographer. So I did not do it. And every time I look at this shot, all I think of was, I wish I'd gotten down low.
Are you on a tripod for these pictures?
No, these are all handheld. Everything you've seen so far is handheld.
Okay. This is Venice?
It is indeed, right? That's the Rialto Bridge, very famous bridge. And this is just, getting later in the day with a nice sky behind me and just pointing and shooting. It's a very kind of point shoot. Again, 0.5 wide angle, one of my favorites for travel.
Shot at dusk. Shot at dusk, right?
Yeah, very late in the day. And so great clouds. We got lucky. And the crowds were not too bad. This is a kind of a famous spot where I'm standing. What's weird about this spot is the building across the way, the white building, it's not exactly, it's an old building and it's not square. You have to work. I've shot it a number of times, and every time you have to kind of go in there and try to tweak the perspective a little to get it to not look like it's falling over. Because one side of the building will be straight and the other side's crooked. So it's Venice, it's a moving target.
Right. Where's this?
New York City.
Yeah.
Another workshop, and I was able to get a private access for my workshop participants. And this is St. John the Divine, which is an unbelievable church. Just incredible. You're only seeing a small part of it here. In New York City, and they were so gracious to allow our group to come in, and we were able to shoot without anybody in there. And the day we were there, they didn't even have all the chairs that they would normally have there, so you have a straight shot right down. And as you can imagine, it's a 0.5. Now, yeah. Jefferson, sometimes people will see these interior images that I do, and you can see everything's kind of leaning in, right? Mm-hmm. And that's more like what our eyes would see, right? But when people see these, they're like, Scott, I'm surprised you didn't correct and make everything straight and all. I know how to do it. I've got Lightroom. It'll do it for me. But it loses its epicness. If I was an architectural photographer, if I was doing architectural photography, then I would certainly consider making it straight, because architectural photographers will destroy you online if you don't do that. But as a travel photographer, I'm trying to make it look better than it looks in real life. I'm trying to make it look epic. And so I like this particular look. I think it makes everything look just big and giant and dramatic. And again, it's a 0.5, and I'll let everything lean in, which I will generally do for travel. So I have a different set of rules for travel than I would for architectural, but this is definitely a travel shot.
It's a great one. Oh, wow. Where's this?
This is the famous St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Mm-hmm. Now, I will tell you this. St. Paul's has a very, very strict no cameras policy. There are signs outside the door. There are guards inside. There are snipers perched up high. If they see you with a DSLR or a mirrorless, they take you right out. But they love iPhones. Everybody's in there with an iPhone, and this is an iPhone with a 0.5 wide. That's an iPhone shot, and nobody cares.
Right.
You can shoot a 48. You can shoot a 48 megapixel raw photo, and nobody cares.
Same thing with me at the Neon Museum in Las Vegas. It's this thing. All the old neon signs are left, and they're lit. And it's there. It's a photographer's paradise, and they say no cameras. No cameras, but shoot on the iPhone. Go ahead, have fun. You know?
Yeah, I actually have the sign from there. I have the sign. If I could share my screen, I would show you. I took a picture of the sign that says no cameras, no DSLRs, no mirrorless, but then it has iPhone. Absolutely, with a big check mark over it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Back to the picture. The colors are popping in a way that for most people, they probably were not. So describe your process here.
It's just contrast. I mean, I don't touch the vibrance. I go to the contrast slider and drag it to the right, and that is it. You can do it in the Photos app. You can do it in Lightroom. The punch of color comes from dragging the contrast slider to the right. Sometimes I'll also drag the white slider just to bring out some of the, you got to be careful here, because if you look in the picture, there's windows and you don't want to, make them glow if they get so white. But that's it. It's contrast, because when you adjust contrast, what you're doing is you're making the brightest parts of the photo brighter, the darkest parts of the photo darker, and that enhances the color big time. It's, when I see a photo that looks flat, the colors aren't popping, the first thing I think of is it needs more contrast. Contrast is not happening. So if you want to make your colors have that, your photos have that kind of pop, increase the contrast. That's the secret. I don't really mess with the vibrance. I don't really, I don't need to. Once you increase the contrast, you're like, that's a very colorful image.
Okay, so let's bottle that. Let's bottle that. Killer tip from Scott Kelby is to use the contrast slider. It won't cost you a cent. If you have a phone, nope. It's right there in the Photos app. Open it up,
yes.
Click edit, and then there's that little edit button that gives you the tools, shows you all the sliders. That starts off with the magic wand, then exposure, goes on and on. Scott Kelby, use the contrast tab. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Give it a try. If you don't like it, push it back to where it was, right?
Push it back. But you're going to like it. It's going to make everything more colorful. And you know what else too? What's interesting, I don't think people realize, adding contrast makes your photo look sharper. Without sharpening, it still looks sharper. It's almost like someone went to your window and cleaned it with Windex, with a Windex and a squeegee. It almost looks like you wiped away grime and stuff. It looks sharper. The colors look richer. I love it. Contrast is it's a simple trick, but it works.
All right. Here we are in Lisbon. The number 28, I think, right? Number 28.
I can't see.
I can't read it. But if anybody who goes to Lisbon knows that if you get on that trolley first thing in the morning, you can see the entire town by just sitting in there and getting shots from the window, right?
Oh, it's glorious. And it goes through this one street, one particular area that is so tight that the only thing that can get through is literally the trolley car. And if people are standing on the street when it turns, they have to step into doorways or it will run them over. It's that tight. So it's right around the corner. Literally, it is around the corner. So if you were to follow this trolley towards the camera, and then it would turn right, it's right there. It's amazing. It can fit through there.
You found the color, you found the red, you found the blue, you found the yellow, you found. This is just so great. You got it all in the shot.
You know what? But let me ask you. I got a trick question for you.
Yeah.
What's missing?
Motion blur.
No. That's a good guess, though.
Okay. No? What's missing?
Go.
I don't know. Tell me, Scott.
They never notice it. The wires.
Yeah.
I took out the cables and the wires. So both the Photos app and Lightroom will both, you can trace the wire with your finger and just remove it. And so I remove them and no one ever says, where are the wires and all? But it makes the shot so much cleaner. Yeah. So much cleaner.
In the Photos app, it's called Cleanup. In the more recent iPhones, it's called the Cleanup tool, and you just put your finger over something and boom, there it goes. It's pretty great.
It's gone. It works very well.
Yeah, and just to let you know, Buddy caught it. Okay. I'm not sure if we have one more picture. No, we do not have another picture. But we have a little blurb for the iPhone Photography Conference, which starts next week. If you're coming in late, Scott will be there. I'll be there. Eric Kuhn will be there. Rick Salmon will be there. Glenn Dewis will be there. Lisa Carney. Who am I missing?
I'm trying to think of who else. It's a great. Is Terry White there?
Yeah, Terry White's there.
Terry White. Yeah.
Terry White just bought himself a new Mac today.
I'm buying a new Mac today.
Are you getting the Mac Neo? Are you buying the Mac Neo?
No, I'm getting a MacBook Air to be my main machine. So I'm on a MacBook Pro, and I don't even need a MacBook Pro for photo editing. So my new MacBook Air will be faster than my MacBook Pro, lighter than my MacBook Pro, and less money than my MacBook Pro. It's everything good.
those of you who missed the announcement, Apple announced a slew of new products this week.
Yep.
I think the highlight is the Mac Neo, which MacBook Neo, I think they're calling it. It's a $600 computer. Apple has never, ever sold any computers at that low price. It has 256 storage, and it has a less faster chip than the computer that Scott bought himself. But it starts at
A19, right?
A18, I think. It's basically an iPhone with a keyboard, but it's the cheapest computer that Apple's ever bought, and you can only imagine the millions and millions and millions they will sell to all the parents who say, "Hey, I need a computer for my kid. Here, there you go." Right?
Here you go. Done.
Yeah. The one I want is the enhanced MacBook Pro with the M5 chip that maxed out only comes to $2,800. So, and that's before tax.
Now, Jefferson, you do a lot of video.
Yes.
I do zero video. I have a video crew here.
Yeah.
They do video. I do stills. So a MacBook Air works just great for me.
Okay. I push out a weekly TV show on my MacBook Pro. And so I have the M1, by the way, and that's been fine.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'll get the M4 one of these days. Hey, Arthur in snowy Maine has a question for us. If you get around to talking about editing apps, I'd appreciate hearing your opinions about using Photomator. Now, I've never used Photomator. Scott,
neither have I.
Okay.
I've never met anyone that uses Photomator. I'm sure they're out there, but I've never met one.
Okay.
You've got options like the Photos app is quite good, but Lightroom's even better. And Lightroom, if you're used to Lightroom on your desktop, it's very easy to learn Lightroom on your phone. The Lightroom phone app is quite good. So
yeah, so Lightroom app is actually free, but there are additional tools if you're a Creative Cloud member. And most of the things you want to do,
you can subscribe.
Yeah, most of the things you want to do, you can do in the Lightroom app. I just did this shoot in New York, speaking of New York, where I had a lot of fun standing in front of a moving subway train, and I wanted to get the whoosh, the motion blur on the train. I could not do that in the Apple app because everything is kind of automatic, and you can't adjust shutter speed. I used a Pro Camera, which was fantastic. And I shot all those shots at 1/8 of a second. But you could also use Halide and the Moment app and the Reflex app.
Even longer.
Yeah, even longer. I don't know if you use any of those apps, Scott.
Even longer is the one I use.
Yeah. Okay.
For long exposures and stuff.
Tell everybody about Volume 2 of the iPhone photography book, which will be out in July, right?
Yeah. It just takes, they print it in South Korea. So it just takes a long time, but it's done. It's going to press this week. So it's amazing. It's going in March and we'll see it in July, but it is my best-selling book for the last 4 years. And I've written a lot of books and it's still #1 for whatever reason.
Okay, so that's over 100 books, and the best-selling book is actually Volume 1, not Volume 2, because it hasn't come out yet, right?
Right, Volume 2 has not come out yet. So Volume 1 is my best-selling one. And what I tried to do was I took regular photography stuff, right? The stuff that you would teach in normal photography, and said, what does it matter what camera we use? Like, really, what does it matter? So I made the whole book to help people make great photos when their iPhone is their only camera. And I do go into all the settings and all the things that, like the first chapter is, here's how to get your phone set up to take the absolute best pictures. And then I have, chapters on just shooting portraits and the settings you need, and just shooting landscapes and just shooting travel. And there's a chapter about, there's a tips and tricks chapter. I talk about accessories. So it's all that different stuff. It's a whole bunch of different stuff that iPhone photographers want to use. But I think the reason why it's done so well is because, #1, I just talk to you like I'm talking to you now. I don't nerd out at all. It's just basically just like you and me talking, but in a book form. And it's the regular stuff like photographers use. Like I'm showing when to use a reflector, when to use a black reflector, like things that people don't even think about. But we teach in mirrorless photography all the time. Well, what does it matter what camera you're using? It's a 48 megapixel raw photo.
It's
So
a 48 megapixel camera. If you've got the Pro,
yeah.
you've got a 13 millimeter to 240 millimeter if you've got the iPhone 17 Pro, right?
I know it's hard to, it takes, one thing that Eric Kuna and I talk about quite a bit on our podcast is why it's so important to get the Pro model.
Yeah.
Like, it's like there is quite a gulf between an iPhone 17 and an iPhone 17 Pro. If photography is going to be your thing, like you're serious about iPhone photography, because there's a lot of people that look at their iPhone as, well, if I don't have my other camera. But then there's people who are embracing it and saying, this is a really good camera and I want to take this seriously. You need to buy the Pro. It is it's a bigger upgrade than you think it is. And if you want to get the kind of images that you're seeing, like Jeff show all the time and people like Russell Brown and stuff, you can get good images on a 17, but you can get better images and you have more flexibility on a 17 Pro.
For the extra $100 or $200. Yeah. You get another lens.
That's hands down. Yes, that's exactly it. That's a great way of thinking it. You get it. And when do you buy a lens for $200? Not very often, but it's an important lens to have. So get the Pro. When the 18 comes out, get the Pro.
Yeah. So I shoot on multiple iPhones, but the 17 is the best one I've ever used because of the selfie camera. Because all of a sudden it goes wider. And I talk to the camera when I'm out traveling, obviously when I'm shooting the show. I'm now shooting stand-ups with the selfie camera because I can. Before I never could because it was low resolution. Yeah. Michael says, what is even normal photography anymore? And Todd, our old friend Todd, says, hey, if you store all of your photos in Apple Photos, why would I subscribe to Lightroom? I feel that I can just use Lightroom Mobile. True. Am I missing something, or should I subscribe to Lightroom because of the editing features? I've got my opinion. I'll start with Scott.
Okay, well, you certainly can. Lightroom Mobile is, I love Lightroom Mobile, even though I make adjustments in the Photos app. It's kind of how many adjustments I need to make. If it's advanced adjustments, I'm in Lightroom. If it's normal adjustments, I can just open the Photos app. But the difference is, if you subscribe to Lightroom Mobile, you're going to get more features, and it's going to unlock what I think are the most important, which are their masking and AI-powered masking features. To where it's like I talked about earlier when I said I just want to select her skin. You just choose people and skin, and boom, it's done. So now here's another thing that you might find surprising. I edit a reasonable amount of my iPhone images on my computer, on my laptop.
Me too.
I will use AirDrop to send the thing from my phone to my laptop. I open it up on my laptop. I edit it like I normally would using Lightroom Classic. And then I don't need to send it back to my phone generally. I'll post from there, or I'll share it or whatever I'm going to do. So, I'm all in on Lightroom Mobile.
Lightroom Mobile is free to use. There's additional features that you could subscribe to. Why would you not have it on your phone? Why Apple Photos is great. You can do more in Lightroom Mobile. I use Apple Photos all the time. I use Lightroom Mobile. Why not have both? But I think the bigger question that Todd is asking is, why do I want to subscribe to Lightroom, as in Lightroom Classic, on the computer? That's what I think he's asking. I don't know about you, Todd, but I just came back from my big southern trip. I just pushed my Savannah photos in this morning. That's 900 photos. I don't see them that well on my phone. Maybe a picture here or there, that's fine. But I want to look at them on my computer. I want to look at them on the big screen because, photos are photos. And I don't care if it's a small camera. Photos, you want to see big. You want to see everything. You want to say to yourself when you're looking at the photo, gosh, why didn't I kneel for that? Well, you learn so much by editing your photos, right, Scott?
It's true. It's absolutely true. 100%.
Yeah. So I believe that you know more, Scott, than I do, but you could subscribe to Lightroom and Photoshop for $20 a month, maybe even 10, I think.
Well, it used to be 10. Well, it's 10 if you're already in there. If you've been in Lightroom for a while, you get the old price, but they did increase the price for new users, and now it is $20 a month. So you can
Okay.
get you can subscribe just to Lightroom, or you can do the photographer's bundle, which is Lightroom and Photoshop. So if you're not interested in Photoshop, you can subscribe right on your phone to Lightroom. You can literally subscribe on your phone.
Okay. Mike says that he uses Adobe Indigo camera, and then he edits
Indigo,
in Lightroom
yeah.
Mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it's an advanced camera. It does the stuff that, like, the long exposure stuff that is built in, that we have to go to another app, like Even Longer, or one of the ones that Jeff mentioned earlier. You have to go to one of those, but it's built into that Indigo camera. So
Okay.
it's kind of an experiment that Adobe did, that said, hey, we've got some really good camera technology here. Let's float it out there and see what people think. So I think it's going to evolve into something else. That's not top secret or anything, but I think that they've kind of said that. But yeah, it's an advanced camera that it lets you take your photos right into Lightroom.
Okay. Scott, I want to bring up AirDrop for a second and importing photos, because this is really interesting. I had an interesting experience. I've been doing AirDrop all the way, but it's a cumbersome, slow process when you shoot the kind of volume that I shoot. So then I said, okay, I'm going to put a flash drive in here, okay? A flash drive right in here. I'm going to import directly to the flash drive. Wouldn't that be great? And I started doing it, and it moves really fast, way faster. However, I do all my photos in RAW 16:9 because I do a video show. I need 16:9 photos, right? So when it imports directly into the flash drive or hard drive, it changes the photos to 2.3 or 3.4, something like that.
No, 3.4, yeah.
Yeah, and it changes them to DNGs, and every file is now 75 megs. And it's like, huh?
Why?
Yeah. And your only way around that is either shoot JPEG, I don't really want to, or just do the AirDrop process, which for me, it's 100 photos at a time. So if I shot 900 photos in Savannah, I just got to go through it 9 times.
Yeah,
but
that's going to take time.
what are you going to do? Todd.
All right, Jeff.
You got to go. Todd says, got it. You pushed me over the edge. I'll upgrade to Lightroom from Lightroom Mobile. And Mike says, I think Indigo could shoot RAW as well. Scott, you've been very generous with your time. Thank you for doing this. Everybody, you can hear much more about iPhone photography at next week's iPhone Photography Conference. In my newsletter, I've got codes for you to save $150 if you sign up early. And Scott, what day do we start? Are we starting on Monday?
Monday is the pre-conference day, and then it runs Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay. So we look forward to hearing from everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Scott, thanks again for doing this. And everybody, we'll be doing replays, and you'll be able to watch over and over again online. And I'm going to click the goodbye button, so bye.